In the previous class, we were discussing about the physical methods of gene transfer. In that, the first method was gene gun method or bialistic method. And that particular technique is especially used for the plant cells. The second physical method for the gene transfer is electroporation. Now the term electroporation means applying high voltage electric pulses on the protoplast. Now what are protoplast? Protoplast means cell without a cell wall. So here when we apply high voltage electric pulses on the protoplast, holes are formed on the plasma membrane. And that is why this technique is known as electroporation. Right, imagine this is a cell. So this is a plasma membrane. So imagine this is a plasma membrane. So right, imagine this is a plasma membrane and this is a cell. It's a target cell. Now what we do is, we are keeping this cell in the medium containing either recombinant DNA or directly you can take the gene of interest. So directly you can take a gene of interest or you can keep in the rDNA, recombinant DNA. Now what we do is, on this we will be applying electric pulses, a high voltage electric pulses. Now what happens when we apply high voltage electric pulses? The plasma membrane, holes are formed on the, pores are formed on the plasma membrane. And when the pores are formed, what is going to happen is, through these pores, through these holes, the rDNA, so the recombinant DNA, or directly you can take gene of interest, the gene of interest will enter into the target cell. So that is why this technique is known as electroporation. So electroporation, it is applying the high voltage electric pulses on the protoplast. Now because of that, pores or holes are created on the plasma membrane. Now through these pores, the recombinant DNA or the gene of interest, directly gene of interest, will enter into the target cell. Now this particular technique is used for the protoplast or for the animal cells. Now let's go with the next technique. So the next physical method is microinjection. In this method, what we do is, we'll be injecting the foreign DNA or the gene of interest into the living cell through micropipette and micro syringe. This microinjection technique is usually used for the animal cells. So because here, for the microinjection technique, the protoplasts are used. Now imagine this is the target cell. Imagine this is an animal cell. Right. In this cell, we have to send the gene of interest. Right. Now for that, what we do is, we will be using the micropipettes. So this is a suction pipette or a suction tube or a pipette. Now by using these pipettes, what we do is, we will be holding the target cell into a particular place. Now after holding the cell into a particular place, what we do is, we will be, now this is a micro syringe. So this is a micro syringe. So in the micro syringe, we are loading the desired gene or the gene of interest. So by holding the cell with the suction pipettes, and we have loaded the gene of interest into the micro syringe, and what we are doing is, we are injecting the gene of interest directly into this target cell. Now this is a very complex and a sophisticated process. So we will be carefully doing under the microscope. Right. Now this micro injection is beneficial for or used for the transferring the gene of interest into the animal cells. Right, now let's go with the chemical methods. So physical methods, we have seen the three methods. One is bioelastic or gene gun method, which is specifically used for the transfer of genes into the plant cells. And the next technique is electroporation, and the third one is microinjection. So in electroporation, microinjection, we will be using protoplast. Right. The next technique is the chemical methods. Right. Chemical methods, these are the chemicals which increases the permeability of plasma membrane and helps in uptake of gene of interest. So we have certain chemicals, now, like polyethylene glycol, dextral sulfate, calcium phosphate. Now what does these chemicals do is, they change the plasma membrane permeability such that the plasma membrane will able to absorb, will be uptake the gene of interest. So that is why even these chemical methods are beneficial for the uptake of the gene of interest. And even here also we will be generally using the protoplast. Now let's talk about the last chemical method here I have mentioned is liposomes. Now what is this liposome? Now liposomes are constructed with the lipids. So they have a structure which is made up of lipids. They have a spherical structure. So liposomes are something like this. So they have a spherical structure, and this is all the lipid molecules. And in the lipid, you can see here is the gene of interest. So this is the gene of interest. Now what we do is, so this particular structure is known as liposome. So this is a lipid structure. It is made up of lipid, and inside you can see the gene of interest. And what we do is, these liposomes are attached to the plasma membrane. When they attach to the plasma membrane, so imagine this is the plasma membrane, they fuse with the plasma membrane, and what happens is the gene of interest will be loaded, will be sent inside the target cell. So liposomes are again a very important method for transferring the gene of interest into the target cells. Right. So along with this, we have one more technique, which is calcium treatment. So this calcium treatment is especially used for the uptake of the gene of interest or the recombinant DNA by the bacterial cell, which we will learn in the next class.